G'day everyone, and welcome back to Woody J Plays. I'm Woody J, and today I am back with another Advanced Wars by Web replay video. I think I said last time that I was going to do an Advanced Wars video each week. That obviously did not happen. I think it's been like 5 or 6 months since my last video. So yeah, I am back doing Advanced Wars, and this time I am going to make sure I release at least one video every 2 weeks this time. The reason it didn't happen before was just a combination of real life things and me being lazy, but now that those real life things are out of the way and I am feeling a lot more keen and motivated to get more videos out on my favorite game, Advanced Wars, I think I can definitely stick to that. And karma has hit me pretty hard because I've actually recorded this video already, and I did the whole thing and then dropped it into my editor to start editing, and my mic was turned off and there was no audio, obviously. So yeah, that was fun. So let's do it all again. On my last video, I was going in blind because I'd played this game so long ago and completely forgot about it. So now I actually know what happened. Maybe I can give even better commentary, who knows. So this is episode 2 of my playthrough where I show every single game of my account, Woody J Plays, in Global League. Currently, I'm at 1 win, no losses, with a rank of 825. My opponent here, Gravy Guy, was sitting at 0 wins and 1 loss when we played this game with an MMR of 775, I believe it was, if I remember my previous recording. So yeah, pretty evenly matched in terms of those rankings. Obviously, when I recorded this, I was a lot worse than I am currently. I've been playing a lot of Advanced Wars by Web. I haven't been having a break from that just because I haven't been doing videos. I've been still playing on my main account, and I'm sort of now at around a 1100 ranking. So this map, Redemption World, I don't believe it's in Global League anymore. I don't think it's in rotation, but at the time of playing this game, obviously it was in Global League Fog. This map, pretty standard. You've got your 2 base strong side on the side of your opponent's HQ. So my strong side, their strong side. Weak side consisting of a single base and an airport. Pretty standard stuff. On this map, however, while there is a road here to enable faster travel on your strong side and committing to your strong side, because there's no real terrain in the center here sort of blocking off those 2 paths, there's a lot of potential for front shifting back and forth. If you get control of this center, you can easily move your forces back and forth, and that's something that I really go for in this game. I definitely identified that early and just, yeah, focused primarily on the center here, so I have that maneuverability. On this map, a few contested properties. I believe I would call these 3 and these 3 the contested properties. Could be wrong there. It might be a bit skewed because of my strong side on this side and their strong side on that side in terms of like who owns which property and what ones are contested. But from my sort of basic analysis of this, I'd say it was all those 6. Leave a comment on this video if I am incorrect with that. Yeah, don't think there's much more to say about this map. In terms of the COs, so this was a tier 2 game, which is why I have chosen Max. I just saw a lot of maneuverability potential with him, and I've been enjoying playing Max. even though there are some strong indirect spots here, I would say this forest, and this forest are three good candidates for indirects, just because of the coverage of cities that you get from those positions. I find them, you know, quite strong positions. So I can't take advantage of that as max. That's okay. My opponent was Sammy. So I didn't actually look at my opponent's profile when I played this game, because I remember thinking this guy is either a really good player who's just made a new account and they're flexing on their early games, or my opponent doesn't understand the tier system. And I wasn't sure sort of which one was which, so I was very nervous going into this game. I was like, oh my god, if I record this and I lose to someone who is 2 tiers lower than me, that will be embarrassing. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but we will see. Anyway, with that all out of the way, I guess we'll get stuck into the game. So, my opponent. First move, building a couple of infantry. Classic. I come back, capture this base. That's your standard play. Always go for the neutral bases when you can. My opponent, instead of coming back and getting these properties for the extra income early, has opted to go out into the center and make more of a presence, sort of, yeah, further ahead, which I think is, you know, good. It's fine. That's what I do as well. Moving along, capturing, building some more penguins. So this is all pretty stock standard. Moving forward, capturing some properties. I'm doing much of the same. I mean, this guy to come up into the center here, going across with this penguin to sort of do a capture up here, this guy up through here. Again, not going back to these back properties, but you know, this penguin's going to go this way, and then I'm sending this one over to make a presence in this sort of zone. Yeah, they're moving along. Standard. Now they're going back and capturing these two, which I agree with. Yeah, making those sort of moves that I said before with my penguins, getting their presence in the areas where needed, and I've done the same thing on the same turn, going back to capture these two. And I build a recon. So if Sammy's capturing a city and my recon attacks that infantry on a city, it will not deal enough damage to prevent the cap. So I'm not going to be able to prevent caps with this thing, but it's just for harassment purposes, really, and that extra early vision. So yeah, pretty standard. Bit of a, what happened there? Oh no, that's fine, I guess. I don't know. Bit of weird capturing here that they haven't, like I've got this one already, they don't have that. That's all good. Build a recon on their weak side, interestingly enough. So we've got recons on the same side now. So again, yep, this penguin pushing out there. Moving up, capturing this. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. Now, opponent on this turn does something a bit peculiar. So yeah, captures that, starts capturing the comm tower. Yep, all pretty standard. Moves his recon out. Got really good forward presence with this infantry. Yeah, capturing right ahead. Now this guy, instead of coming across and getting the extra income, has opted to move back towards the airport, which I find very interesting. Instead of getting the extra income, going for that. I mean, I don't agree with that. Put the tank on their strong side. Yep, very good. So again, moving into the center, getting that center presence. You can see he's already capturing that. Like, oh, geez, that's interesting. Yeah, so previously I'd moved an infantry to this spot. So to do the same thing that my opponent here is doing, so I'm going to send this infantry over this way and have this guy capture this, but I could have easily done that and send that across. Wouldn't have made much of a difference. So, yep, continuing the capture game. Building a tank on my strong side. Yeah, they're just capturing a whole bunch of stuff, as Sammy is wanted to do. Moving on up. Artillery. First artillery of the game. So yeah, Max, you want to be very aggressive, and if you're versing Max, you want to be more passive if you can. But playing Semi, you want to get those properties too. So yeah, it's a bit of an interesting dynamic that you very rarely see Max versus Semi game. Pump out 2 tanks on the strong side. So I'm really going for that tank game. I mean, as Max, you got the Holy Trinity. You got recons, tanks, battlecopters. That is the Mad Max mode of winning. I don't know. I can't think of another M thing. Surely there's another M for winning. Maybe I'll think of it later. That was not in my first recording that didn't have audio either. Just came to me then. Yeah, so starting to build some mech spam. So there is a little bit of mech spam that ends up going on. And yeah, push that tank here. I've got nothing to respond to that. But as I said, I want to go for the center here, so I'm going to move my forces over here to be able to respond either way as required. Capturing, got my airport. Hell yeah. Again, just harassing but not able to stop caps. With Sammy's super capturing abilities. Just moving on everything up. More tanks on the strong side. I mean, you know, you can never have too many tanks as Max. So move this guy into the belly of the beast, hoping I didn't have anything, and he was right. He or she, I should say, they were right. Yep, moved in to capture my stuff, so yep, that's classic Sammy for you. Push it along, push it along. Now finally going back and getting this property. That has been a long time coming, I believe. Hopefully it wasn't just one turn, but I think that was, yeah, a bit of a delay on that one. Builds their battlecopter. First battlecopter of the game. Now I'm pushing into the belly of the beast, but I feel a lot more confident because I'm Max. Go for the cap as opposed to the attack. Yeah, probably not the best in all honesty. I should have just attacked that infantry with the tank and then my infantry. So retreating a bit on this side, pushing on my strong side, pulling back on my weak side here. Doing the old Deegis analogy, you know, the fulcrum. He always mentions the fulcrum. One side up, other side back. Can't see my other hand. Still can't see my other hand. You know, these ones. Back and forth. Strong side pushes, weak side pulls back. Yeah, capturing, moving stuff up. Oh yeah, so yeah, didn't see the battlecopter before or anything, but built a preemptive anti-air. So around, yeah, turn 8, 9, you want to build an anti-air. That's typically when the battlecopters start coming out. So yeah, pat myself on the back for that one. Got that preemptive anti-air sort of in time to protect my tank armada. Being all sneaky breaky in here. Moving into the forest. And killing my penguins. You bugger. Moved in here for a bit of vision, I guess. Nothing else. Look at this. The mechs. The march of the mechs. So infantry there to attack, but also getting good vision to see, you know, if I should be committing here or not. So yeah, moving on in with my tanks and just dominated this side now. But as you can see, my opponent is dominating their strong side also. So yeah, it's much of a muchness. And we look up here, pretty even on all fronts. Although Sammy wants to be a lot more ahead in the capture game than her opponents. She isn't at this stage. So yeah, a couple of tanks. Starting to build some tanks on the weak side just because of what is going on here. And I moved my tank up into what I knew was vision of this recon. Try and spook him away. And yeah, also built a battlecopter of my own, obviously. So Semi's turn. What do you got? Finally capturing this. Like, for a Semi player, their capture game has been very lacking. I think they pushed too aggressively to capture my stuff early, and it's sort of letting them down a bit. And look at that. That is suicide right there. Okay, did move the artillery. This is the forest I mentioned earlier, one of the good artillery forests to be in, because you can take that out, but there's no protection for this artillery. As soon as it fires, I'm going to know where that thing is. Yeah, pushing up, pulling back, doing all the things, moving their mechs up, wanting to get off a sneaky hit on one of my tanks. It's over here. So yeah, it goes up here to see what's around, doesn't see any threat, moves the battlecopter into this forest. I don't know if they think that the forests hide their air units. That's a bit of a error, rookie error I find being made by a lot of new players to Advance Wars. So just so you know, forests do not hide air units. That's probably the takeaway from this game, because I think it comes back again later on for my opponent too. Spoiler alert. So what am I doing here? Why did I move there? I think that's just to get a bit more vision. Oh yeah, because I can't see this space. Get a bit more vision to see what I can do to interrupt this. And yep, move my infantry on in, move my other infantry in. That's enough to stop it. And I have blocked this tank right off. So I am starting to push on this front as well. I've been so successful on this front. I'm starting to, he's getting way overextended. Instead of reinforcing elsewhere, they just pushed into overextension and allowed me to get some really significant hits over here and wins on that side. So I'm just sort of setting myself up, moving into the center, just setting myself up again for what Deegis calls the rubber band effect. I'll reference Deegis a lot. I'll watch a lot of Deegis videos, okay, and get a lot of his terminology and strategy. So one of the things he talks about is rubber band effect. So not quite in rubber band here, but your tanks don't have to all be in a clump. If you have them spread out and they can cover each other like lengthways, like this, you know, covers that, and yeah, it's kind of rubber banding. Like if this was here, say, and there's a tank there and a tank there and a tank there, they all sort of can converge on one if it gets attacked. Yeah, watch a Deegis video, he can explain it a lot better. So yeah, capturing as Sammy, again, as you do. Only 1k ahead on me, which is not where you want to be as a Sammy player, especially against Max. Yeah, I'm feeling the pressure coming off me a lot more at this point, because I'm really getting the feel that this is not a, you know, Smurf account being a flex on me. It's someone that's new to the game. Sorry, so back here. Oh, how far ago was it? Oh, it's probably a long way back. But anyway, that artillery shot on this penguin. And just because of the vision that I have, what I can see, I will know that there is an artillery in there now. And it is undefended. Builds an anti-air of their own in retaliation to my battlecopter. Should have built it preemptively. They did have a battlecopter of their own previously, but it's sort of stuck on the weak side. It takes a long time to bring them right across here to challenge, you know, their opponent's battlecopter. So you really want that preemptive anti-air to zone them out, or in some cases wipe them out. So yep, free battlecopter right there. Over here, boom, insta-kill the recon. Get some vision here. There you are, and goodbye artillery. Even though it was in a good spot, there was no wall or anything to protect it, and that wiped it out. Now, I'm feeling good on my weak side. I'm feeling good on my strong side, I'm feeling good on my weak side. Starting to capture back some ground, capture some more properties, and, you know, even out that property game, which should not be happening against Sammy, but I mean, I'm 2 tiers above her, so. Bit aggressive with this tank. Yeah, probably could have pulled back. That mech couldn't reach this anti-air or anything anyway. Yeah, that was a bit silly. Now build a Neo tank. Feeling feisty. Keen to cause a bit of carnage. There's a lot of tanks getting around and stuff, and I just wanted to, you know, I was winning. Let's flex a bit. Took out their indirects. So yeah, I thought it was a good time for a Neo tank. So now, yeah, mech got a good hit on my tank over here. Recon saw that as the opening to attack this infantry. And yeah, starting to push on their weak side again. Gets a hit on my anti-air, but even a 7 HP anti-air will wipe out a battlecopter. So I'm not too worried about that. Suicide run here. This is what's known in the business as a Meng's infantry. A couple of suicidal boys here, but you know, good on them. 2 mechs, continuing the mech spam, and a medium tank to deal with my overwhelming tank numbers, which, you know, is the right call. You see a bunch of tanks, you know, you tech up, you build a medium tank, you build a Neo tank. If you're on the defensive, medium tank, great. On the offensive, Neo tank, more preferred. But I haven't really overextended anyway. This tank did, sure, but otherwise there's not a whole lot of overextension, so it's gonna take a while for the medium tank to get to the front lines. This turn, open her up with a max blast. Time to do some blasting, so capture that. We're equal on properties. Move up here just to suss this forest out. Are there any indirects there or not? There aren't. So move on up. 2, 3. Not that it could reach this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, not that it could reach this anyway, but still wanted to suss her out. So I'm just going to prevent this. I know there's a super coming, so I'm just going to go on a infantry murder spree. So yeah, completely shut down this threat. And yeah, just sort of asserting some dominance over extending here, but I mean it's max blast, so I'm making advantage of it. Trying to break through this wall, which I have now, to get to this battlecopter, which I'm not sure if my opponent thinks is hidden because it's sitting in that forest. Battlecopters, sorry, air units are not hidden when they are in forests. That is the takeaway. And goodbye, you poor battlecopter. Come on in, damage this so the mech can't get any sweet hits on my little tank horse here. Pushing into the center, I've got awesome control right across the board at this stage. I am in a really good board position. Moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. They skipped. Yeah, damn, I only have 900. Whoops. Probably miscalculated that, actually. But you know what? I got enough infantry. I've got enough presence. I wasn't too worried about this. That was my opponent's turn. So here comes the victory march. Looking at the board state, there is not many properties they can claim with this. I can see being subpar. But the extra movement gets the mech a first hit on my tank. It's very nice for my opponent. This anti-air is just like YOLO! I'm going to charge right into the belly of the beast where I've seen a Neo tank in the previous turn to kill this 1 HP infantry. That is an absolute Giga Chad move right there. Yeah, gets a good hit on my tank, takes out that tank. Free property, yo! But it's in the heartland. They're not going to be able to hold that. Yeah, killing some infantry, killing some stuff, medium tanks moving up, getting some awesome movement on their mechs, getting them to the front lines, and resignation. That is it. So, yeah. My poor opponent is obviously new to the game. And the unfortunate thing about this series is it's recording every single game from the start of this account's Global League playthrough. So the first few games are going to be pretty one-sided. I honestly can't remember how the next ones go. I'm just making that assumption because it has been so long ago. Last video was what, 5 or 6 months ago? So last time I played would have been, these early games would have been like 8 months ago on this account. So yeah, but anyway, the goal of this series is to hopefully educate some of you, but it's also for you guys to teach me. As I said earlier in the video, I'm only a 1100 rank on my main account, so obviously I have a lot to learn. So yeah, drop it in the comments. What did I do wrong? What did I do right? I mean, in this case, it's unfortunate that my opponent was obviously quite new to the game, but yeah, still, let me know. If you enjoyed this content, please consider giving it a like or comment to help out with the YouTube algorithm. And like I said, new Advanced Wars video at least every 2 weeks. And if Reboot Camp decides to eventually come out, there will be a whole lot of Advanced Wars content. That will be the focus of the channel. But yeah, until then, I'll be continuing my Advanced Wars by Web games. Anyway, I will stop rambling. It's good to be back doing Advanced Wars content. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will hopefully see you next time. Thanks. Bye.